Yo, 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 ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another In the OT podcast for BetHubSportsBlog.com. I am your host, Chad M. Today we're breaking down a little bit of Major League Baseball All-Star Game 2012, and one of the topics that has drawn quite a bit of controversy is surrounding the decision made by National League manager Tony La Russa deciding to start Matt Cain over R.A. Dickey. And after reading a lot of blogs and hearing some sports radio programming today, I believe that most of the public is in favor of Dickey because of the fact that A, he has slightly better numbers, but B, and more so, the fact that he is a bit of a feel-good story that everybody is sort of cheering for and want to see him get rewarded for that. But hold on a second here, ladies and gentlemen. You got to think a little bit deeper into this and have some respect for one of the greatest managers of all time here, Tony La Russa, because when you especially listen to what he said today in his press conference stating that some of his decision to go with Cain over Dickey is the fact that he's been an all-star in the past. He wants to show him that respect, and I somewhat agree with that, especially when you factor in how a lot of these guys that are voted in by the fans, who you guys want to see anyways, are decided upon anyways. How many times do you see guys that are way past their prime but get voted into the all-star game because they're popular, even though there's better players that aren't put in the game, i.e. a Derek Jeter. I'm not saying that he's not deserving this year, but there's been years where he really isn't, or Cal Ripken at the end of his career, or Ozzie Smith, or any of these guys, Ken Griffey Jr. So if you guys, the fans, have that standard, why can the same logic not be applied with the manager who wants to take a pitcher based on a little bit of overall success in their career, not just 1 year? And from a pure numbers standpoint, you can't come out here and tell me that R.A. Dickey's been that much better. He has a 2.40 ERA and a .93 whip compared to Matt Cain with a 2.62 ERA and a .96 whip. We're talking about the smallest difference in the world. It's not like you can say there's a massive advantage that Dickey has with his numbers that he is that much more worthy of starting over him. Okay, yeah, you can point to the wins 12-1 versus Matt Cain's 9-3, but you guys know my opinion on wins when it comes to Major League pitchers. It's the most overrated stat and really doesn't indicate how well that they are pitching. And 9-3 is not too shabby. It's not like he's 500 or anything like the year when King Felix won the Cy Young, where maybe you could make a point that if they're that damn good, they should have a winning record, even if their numbers are phenomenal. And then, furthermore, and the biggest point that I think everybody is overlooking here is Tony La Russa's job is to try to win this game here for the National League, is it not? Yes, it is. So based on that, in my opinion, from a pure strategy standpoint, it makes way more sense to start Matt Cain over R.A. Dickey. And the reason for that is because it will allow them to be able to have a rotation setup that might throw the American League hitters a little bit more off guard. And what I mean by that is if you come in with your traditional hard-throwing pitcher like a Matt Cain, and then you decide to go to R.A. Dickey, and then you decide to go back to another traditional hard-throwing pitcher, then you really throw those batters potentially off guard in the American League by having someone go hard, then go back to the knuckleball, and then someone go hard again. It's going to be a lot of readjusting for them to have to deal with, whereas if you just started R.A. Dickey, once he pitched his inning or two and he's done, then they don't have to deal with adjusting back and forth. So from a pure strategy standpoint, I absolutely love the mindset behind it there. And yes, okay, you can point to the feel-good story of R.A. Dickey, and trust me, I'm a big fan of it. I watched the documentary put together by ESPN, the 30 for 30, going back to his childhood and what he had to overcome and the psychological issues, the time when he went into that river there in Missouri and wanted to, take his own life away. It really is phenomenal. But I'm so sick and tired of people wanting to put people in the spotlight or give them an opportunity over somebody else to have this honor of starting because of what's happened off the field. The bottom line here is it's a result-driven business, and people are put into positions based on what they do on the field and not necessarily the stories that they've overcome off the field. And I know it might sound a little bit harsh and a little bit like sort of lack of caring or not showing the respect, but that really is the bottom line, because at the end of the day, where were all the fans bitching and complaining, saying that R.A. Dickey should have had a chance the last 6 or 7 years because of what he had to deal with off the field? And where were the managers that didn't give him the chance if they really felt that way? Everyone just seems to overreact because now that there's some success and now there's a story about it, we've all become aware of it. So to me, it's just another double standard set in society with the mindset here, everyone going wild that R.A. Dickey got snubbed. Some people are saying snubbed. Give me a break. It's perfectly fine what Tony La Russa did. Chad here, another In the OT podcast, BetHubSportsBlog.com.